Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 3 of our latest campaign here on Ultimate General American Revolution. We are in a decent position this time around. We've held Providence with a decent amount of soldiers. Our main immediate need is to not only have enough money, but also have the Continental Army that we desperately need. And it would take 62 points to do that right now, which we could spend. That would drive down our reputation by a lot, but I feel like we're in a strong enough position this time around that that's actually something I think I'm willing to do at this point, because I could really use those regular soldiers at this key moment in this campaign. Okay, we have it. So we're also working on support training, skilled craftsmen, intelligence agency, and raising funds. So Navy Department will come at some point after we're done raising funds. But now what we're able to do is we're able to start raising infantry regiments. Now, I do have some available officers, some of whom are actually pretty good. The question is weapons. We don't have weapons right now. So until we're able to get enough weapons, I think we're going to be kind of limited as far as what we can recruit at the moment. All right, so we're going to increase production, and this is about the max we can do, is about 100 civilian muskets per day. We don't really have the ability to make any other kinds of small arms at the moment. But right now, all of those guns that I'm making are going into reinforcing our existing units to get them back up to strength. So I actually would have to eliminate some of my existing militia units in order to be able to create some line regiments, but that may be what we have to do. There are currently 3,700 British troops in Boston. Can we draw them out without a bunch of reinforcements? I think there's about 4,000 men in Leicester. I don't know how many up in Salem, but that is a workable number in Boston right now, especially now that I'm starting to get a few more regulars. Not a ton of regulars, but there are regulars in my group. Oh, I could actually name these brigades, can't I? All right, let's do this. I think we can win this. Okay, we're into the battle for Boston, and he has cavalry. First time we've seen any of that. I don't know exactly what kind it is, but they rode out in front of the rest of his force as I'm starting to try and advance and take these objectives right away. He's going to ride them right into my militia. Give me all kinds of trouble there. I'm going to start moving everybody forward. We're going to have to play our cards just right to win this. Find advantages and use them before he can bring too much of his superior firepower to bear on us. Oh, here he comes. We're going to have to try and use the numbers that we've got here to overwhelm the fact that he's hitting us with a bunch of mounted troops who I would expect are going to be pretty good when it comes to melee fighting. But I think we've got him overwhelmed there. I don't like the center very much at the moment. Just going to kind of shoot it out over there for the time being. I want to try and get on his flank if I can. which means turning him over here if at all possible. I'm running this in half time at the moment. I'm going to need to micromanage every bit of this that I can. I have a unit back here. Oh, that's my general. Yeah, he needs to be up there. All right, we're trying to turn the flanks. That's really the key at the moment here. Is if I can do that. And just hold the center as best I can. Got to keep an eye on this side because that cavalry's going to come back. Here they come. No, don't charge him. Charge this guy. All right. Not liking how the right flank's going at the moment. Left flank's looking good, though. Oh, here he comes charging in with the cav again. All right. So far, so good. We're holding our own in the center. We're trying to turn the flanks. I feel better about my left flank at the moment than the right. If we can collapse this, I think we might have him. Yeah, I don't like how much artillery he's got sitting back here, but that's kind of second level stuff and not really anything I can do much about right now. Now his cavalry's riding in behind me. Really don't like that. I'm just going to pretty much have to destroy these guys to get them off my back. Oh, man. One-on-one, he is just brutal. He just lit up that unit there. I'll get these two merged together. We've got to wipe these guys out somehow so they can stop that. All right. Let's move on the center. Some of these units are recovering now. But some of his will recover as well. All right, we're just trying to keep an eye on where those guys might be because I really don't know at the moment. All right, let's try and crash the center. I think we've got him. His units will recover and come back, but I think we're getting the numbers advantage on him. And we're securing the objectives. And we're pushing into his second level toward his artillery. All right. Not seeing the Cav back there anymore. Doesn't mean they're not back there somewhere. But I think we can start pressing forward here. All right, we need to hit this artillery before they do that. Yeah, he's got so much artillery. And now that we're pushing through to that level, we're getting nailed by it. This is where we're going to have trouble because that canister fire is going to be a nightmare. I'm going to try to deal with one side and then the other. If I try to charge at too much of the artillery at once, it's not going to work out. Come on, boys. Take him down. See, now he's turning his artillery on me here, which means it's going to be a friendly fire situation on his. Ugh. That stuff is so brutal. It absolutely is. Hey, there's Thomas Gage. This is going to be a bloodbath for both sides. Artillery. It's brutal. Now he's going to start reforming it. My goodness. I'm not going to have much of an army left. All right, we're getting at the rest of the artillery now. Not going to have much of an army left after this. Hit them before they hit you. Oh, boy. There we go. We got a victory, but a costly one. Look at that. Oh, my gosh. We nearly had to wipe out his army. There's no way that 3,300 British soldiers would have continued to fight with 2,500 of them casualties. But that's what it took. And hopefully they'll tweak that because we shouldn't be seeing those kinds of losses in a battle like this. No way even British regulars hold up under 70% casualties on a battlefield like this. So we're going to have about 1,900, nearly 2,000 men left after that. He's got about 700 men left. Whew, boy. Okay, looks like we're going to be able to take Boston. We grabbed a bunch of supplies and guns. That's huge. We're going to take the capital. We're going to start garrisoning our troops there, and hopefully we can rebuild this army. Hopefully with the guns and the men that we are going to be able to get because of taking Boston, we're going to be in a strong enough position to rebuild this army quickly. And being that he's British and he's got to get these men from further away and supplies from further away, I'm hoping that gives us a bit of an advantage, at least for the time being. That's huge for us, though. Taking Boston gives us 50 in reputation points and, more importantly, 20,000 in finances, which is really, really big for us. Let's go ahead and take a look at our financial situation now. I want to ramp up our production a little bit, not that much. Morale looks good on pay. Let's increase the bounty a little bit. 47 days away from getting another general. That's pretty big, but I like the idea of getting some more low-ranking officers. That's going to allow us to kind of build up our company strength a little bit more. we've got a nice amount of population available too. Let's go ahead and take a look for a second at production management. We're still at 100 a day. I'd like to be able to start building some other weapons, but we haven't researched the technology to be able to do that yet. And then let's look at some of these infantry regiments. You can see how shot up they are. 7 men in this company, 19 in that one, 31 in that one. So we really don't need to be recruiting anyone new right now. We just need to build up what we already have. So let's take a look at Boston. We do have the dock. We have a town hall. We're definitely going to need a recruiting house here. That's going to help some, I think. And it probably wouldn't hurt to send a few of these more shattered units to some other towns to maybe try and build them up a little sooner. Okay, we're going to start selecting a few doctrines here. Right now we're going to do recruiting doctrine in Rhode Island, which is going to make more available recruits in that territory, which is really where we're kind of focusing our men right now. Of course, Middleborough's Massachusetts, so we might need to do the same. Right now, honestly, recruiting is where my focus needs to be. I've got weapons. What I need is men. Just show you real quick kind of where we're at on that. Because we've got 1,400 civilian muskets in storage, 757 brown Besses, 200 short brown Besses. So we've got those. And we've also got a nice variety of artillery now as well that we could start putting to use. We could buy some ships as well. 7th rate brig. I mean, these are not cheap, though. That's the problem. And honestly, right now, as hard as funds are to come by, I'm not entirely sure I want to risk the Navy. We have a fully constituted, fully recruited and equipped line regiment, 720 men that was fully raised in Newport, so we're sending them to Boston. That's going to be a huge boost to our ranks there. See, there's 7 British ships right there. Even if I started building a navy, they would get wiped out pretty quickly by that size of a force. All right, we've got the Capture Quebec mission given to us. We have 420 days to complete it. That basically takes us to the end of 1776, which I believe is the current end of this campaign. If you look at their roadmap, in fact, you know what? Let's take a look at the roadmap real quick. So here's their current game roadmap, which shows up on their website, which is ug1775.com. Right now, U.S. campaign 75-76. I'm assuming that's what we have available to us. We'll see how far we can play it out. Next, they're going to add 76-77. After that, we'll get the U.S. campaign through 78. We'll get British campaign 75-76. Then the British again, and then the U.S. campaigns from there to the end. So it is early access, so we do have limited playability at the moment, but I'm just glad that we have our hands on it. We're able to play. I went ahead and spent some prestige in order to be able to complete the Army Innovation 2 and get Benedict Arnold so we would have ourselves a second general, which I think we desperately need right now. I'd love to be able to build a fort, but I don't think that's my priority at the moment. For next research, I'm looking kind of in the direction of Continental Army departments and further additions that I can make, including some regiments here. So I think that's the direction we're going to go. Although I could use the plus 20 low ranks officers right now would be huge for me. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and spend reputation on that because I've been limited. I can't recruit any new regiments, even though I have regimental commanders available. I don't have any low-ranking officers like company commanders available, so I can't create any new companies at the moment. So that'll get us there for that. Now let's go ahead and work on Continental Army departments. And we also have something available here. Yeah, I'm not sure how much any of that's going to be really helpful to us at the moment. We're 85 days away on being able to build U.S. muskets. Yep, I think that's about where we're at right now. Now that we have Benedict Arnold, my goal is to hold Boston, but try to extend things a little bit. Fort Montgomery is first for me, just because I don't like having these guys sitting in my rear like that. We've got some available forces. We did lose Fort Ticonderoga. We're going to have to retake that. Eventually, we need to be able to work our way up the Hudson River Valley toward Montreal, and then maybe use Montreal as a base for getting at much further away Quebec. I've taken Quebec in the past, but it's not an easy get. So let's go ahead and send at least some of these top-of-the-line soldiers over to help with Benedict Arnold. We're working on recruiting some of these other units as well. So first stop is going to be Leicester, 680 men in the British garrison there. I want to try and keep all these connected as best I can. We've got 1,800 men with Benedict Arnold that are going to be marching on Leicester. I think I like my chances, especially since these are mostly regulars. I think they might be all regulars. Yep, 2nd Connecticut, and then an infantry regiment. Feel pretty good about this. Let's take them into action. All right, so some of these units, as you can see here, they show right away 0 kills, 85 deaths, 80 deaths, 13 deaths. So it's going to be hard to kind of get a sense of who they really are right off the bat in terms of how that's going. But let's let the British come to us. We've got a huge advantage in numbers here. Not a huge advantage. I mean, it's about 3-1. But firepower-wise, it appears to be greater than that. We don't have any artillery, though. Let's go ahead and start moving forward. We can't just stand here and get punched at by the artillery. I'm not going to be quite as eager to just charge in every time. Now that I have some regulars, I feel like we have a better chance of shooting it out a little bit. All right, looks like he's backing out. We only lost 14 men. He lost 20. I probably would rather have fought that a little bit, but I don't want to go charging into his artillery. We'll take Leicester. We'll take getting towns and territory back. Of course, he's retreating back toward Hatfield, which is kind of going to be our next target, unfortunately. Just going to keep one eye on Salem. I don't want him building up a bigger force and overwhelming Boston. We don't want to lose Boston again after fighting so hard to take it. In fact, I probably want to reinforce Boston at some point. Let's go ahead and send this unit up from Middleborough to reinforce Boston if we can. Leicester's going to fall. Excellent. So let's go ahead and garrison temporarily in Leicester. Might be able to rebuild our forces a little bit there. We don't have a lot going on there at the moment. Headquarters, getting close on intelligence agency. U.S. muskets still a whiles away. Race funds, low-ranking officers. Not much else going on right now. I am going to go ahead and do this recruitment of low ranks again because we can never have too many of those right now. What do we have over here in Hartford? This is it's a Continental Regiment. Okay, so unfortunately it doesn't, it's militia, even though it's called Continental. All right, we're going to disband that, and then we're going to use what we freed up to build a new Continental Regiment. We got 2,300 civilian muskets right now, so that's good. How about artillery? We do have some 13-pounders. Okay, there we go. We're going to create a new Continental Regiment there instead. That'll eventually join Arnold's army as we move west. The other thing I want to look at is we do have the market available to us, so there may be some room here to make some money For example, we could sell these short brown besses that we really aren't going to use. Make some money there. Goods and resources. Ammunition. I think we could use a little more of that. We've got some in storage, though. Furs. We could be selling some furs. I don't know exactly what we do with the furs. Auto sell the resource until there's just one in storage. Yeah, let's do that. Cigars. We've only got one in storage. We're going to auto sell until there's one in storage. Textiles. Auto sell as well. What about resources? Horses, coal, saltpeter. These are all things we need in order to be able to construct things. Let's go ahead and build schoolhouses. These will increase our officer capacity. You can see right now we have 0 officers available, which is why we can't create any new companies. So we need to be able to get new officers. We've got a schoolhouse in Providence. We're working on one in Newport. Let's go ahead and start building one in Hartford. All of these are going to help us get new officers. We don't need new muskets right now. So we've got 9 new officers available. I'm going to watch and see if that Hartford regiment builds up now, because it's waiting on officers at the moment. Oh, it's actually money that is hurting them right now. But we do have officers available. I'm a little nervous. Salem's built up to 3,300 men. That's a pretty distinct advantage over what we have in Boston. But I'm moving toward Hatfield now, where there's 680 men. And I did get a notification that the British are, oh, there they are. There's 3,600 men moving down toward New Haven. So I think what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to surrender the idea of holding New Haven for the time being. We're going to have to come down with Benedict Arnold and go after Fraser as best we can, even though I think we're kind of outnumbered at the moment. Proclamation of rebellion. Thanks, King George. We know we're in rebellion. That's kind of the point at this point. My unit in New Haven's been routed. We didn't get there in time. It's got a pretty substantial force there. We're trying to get down here as quick as we can with Arnold. I'm just afraid he's going to push down on Boston from Salem, and I don't have the manpower to stop him if he does. So we're going to have to get Arnold built up and ready to be able to take on the British, who have taken New Haven now. And it's going to start with kind of consolidating what we've already got, getting them built back up a little bit, and then going from there. But I think this will be a good spot to stop for this episode. We've got our hands full moving forward. We're going to have to see what we can do to stop this new British threat. There's an uprising up here in Lyman. Looks like we got some men available there, but getting to them is going to be the problem. Currently, we're working on raising funds again to get some more money. Intelligence Agency, Equipment Committee, U.S. muskets. And that's about where we're at right now. So let me know your thoughts. Use the comment section below, and we'll be back again with another episode of this series in 2 days. Be back with some more Grand Tactician for you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.